Hi everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing Top Gun Maverick. This is a new release from 2022 and it was directed by Joseph Kosinski. There's an early scene that occurs in Top Gun Maverick where Admiral Kane, played by Ed Harris, tells Maverick, played by Tom Cruise of course, that his kind is heading for extinction. Soon enough, he says, we won't need people piloting planes because technology will take over and do everything they need without disobeying orders. Throughout the rest of the film, Maverick and his Top Gun students will remark, it's not the plane, it's the pilot. And this gets to the heart of what makes Top Gun Maverick soar into new heights. These remarks about technology taking over have a double meaning. There's what it means in the world of the film, and there's what it means in the real world where the film is being made. The pilot captaining the engine is none other than Tom Cruise, who continues to amaze like how a movie star is supposed to do. Watching Tom Cruise in one of his blockbusters is the art of watching a man find a way to top himself time and time again when you think it's impossible. It's that same feeling I got when watching Buster Keaton back in the silent era, or Jackie Chan, and the way that these guys do the life-risking stunts they performed in their heyday. Today, technology has advanced to a point where we can put any image of our imagination on screen, yet with an endless possibilities, so many movies have lost that human touch that makes them something genuinely great. It's like what William Friedkin said in an interview with Fade In.
So technically, cinema has become, a place where everything is possible. But in fact, there's very little truth to be found.
With that, there are stars like Tom Cruise who beg to differ. When Cruise opened the Academy Awards in 2002, he mentioned an old quote by Billy Wilder about what makes a movie memorable. A little bit of magic. And Cruise has been bringing us that magic his entire career. Sometimes his art as a spectacle creator comes at the risk of making us forget his ability as an actor, ranging through many genres and characters from Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia to Ben Stiller's Tropic Thunder. However, where Cruise seems most comfortable, by his own admission, is living on the edge and creating exhilaration. And that's precisely what he gets to do with this sequel to the popular 80s original. All the while, he charms us with that natural charisma and endearing smile he's so well known for. The original Top Gun, while certainly holding a place in the hearts of many, I will be frank, is a film I was never fond of, so the idea of a sequel didn't excite me, especially in this day and age of lazy Hollywood banking on the nostalgia of old franchises. But, that said, when the early word came out, I wasn't excited necessarily, but I was certainly intrigued to see what all the talk was about, and then I saw it, and I understood it completely. Top Gun Maverick improves upon its predecessor in every way imaginable. In the original, Maverick was the only character I felt who was rounded. Everyone else around him was interchangeable as one specific character type. Fortunately, this film succeeds where that film fell flat, giving us a whole new crew of characters who bring the right amount of chemistry and camaraderie to keep us engaged. Which is funny because it's not entirely different from the original in many regards. It's the same group of lieutenants with the same kind of camaraderie we saw before, however, the emotional connections between characters are more fleshed out to provide a better reason to care. Namely, Rooster, played by Miles Teller, who's the son of Maverick's old partner, Goose. There's this built-in animosity between the characters from the start as it's made clear Maverick is still haunted by the memory of Goose dying in an accident, and the film gives speculated reasons why Rooster holds contempt towards him. It's nothing complex or groundbreaking, but it doesn't have to be, and frankly, it shouldn't. Any film of greatness knows what kind of film it is, and doesn't attempt to go above what it should be. Top Gun Maverick works best as a simple, easy-to-understand adventure with the right amount of emotional heft to make it compelling. So, that's precisely what it is, nothing more. All we need to understand is that Maverick is here to teach the best pilots in their class what they need to know to successfully complete a daring mission. In these parameters, Miles Teller does some excellent work. He's been one of the great up-and-coming actors ever since he had his breakthrough with Whiplash. The failed attempt at breaking into mainstream blockbuster success with 2015's Fantastic was a bust, but anyone with a brain wouldn't blame that on him. He's finally gotten a second chance with this, and it pays off big time. He has the same go-with-the-flow chillness of Anthony Edwards as demonstrated with his rendition of Great Balls of Fire, but when he has to turn up the pressure, he's very convincing in it. In fact, the entire team is full of personality. Even though they seem like archetypes at first, you find they rise above the conventions, namely Phoenix, played by Monica Barbaro, and her Wizzo, Bob, played by Louis Pullman. It would have been so easy, especially at this age, to make her character dependent on the fact that she's the only woman in a group of strong men, and yet this stereotype is never called into question. She merely exists and feels like a part of this family. Likewise, Bob is almost built to be the socially awkward nerd who screws up, but they never humiliate him as such because he's also a part of the team and has earned his rank. All this said, the romantic interest, Penny, played by Jenniffer Connelly, is a bit underdeveloped, and her romance angle with Maverick feels tacked on. My understanding is that this character is actually made mention of in the original, but never shown, which is a nice callback and attention to detail for sure. I just would have liked more time to expand upon the history between her and Maverick so their chemistry would feel more identifiable. It's not bad per se, just too vague to work wonders. Now, the one character I find myself conflicted with is Hangman, played by Glenn Powell. He's sort of a recreation of Iceman, Val Kilmer from the original, where he's meant to be the antagonist within the group of heroes. He's a very egotistical character, which is fine. He can be egotistical. I don't really care about that. But I think the film leans too heavily into the negative attributes for him to feel like a character with any real dimension. I think if there had been more balance with his personality throughout the film where he really does care for his team, maybe I wouldn't be so harsh, but as is, he's a very one-note character of a cocky asshole. However, all of this is merely setting us up for the true experience of the film when these people get in their fighter jets. I'm sure a comment you're going to see repeated in many reviews is how you need to see this film in the best format possible with crystal clear picture and state-of-the-art surround sound, and I am here to say it is not hyperbole. These aerial dogfights are one of a kind, brought to life with real FA-18s to immerse us in the scenario. We feel every breath, sweat drop, and moment of panic across these pilots in their cockpits as though we're there with them. And the behind-the-scenes look at this film, knowing they all went through extensive 6-month training, makes it all the more impressive. As awe-inspiring as the film is, a documentary on the making of the film might be even more interesting to watch. Plain action never has and likely never will look this incredible ever again, but I wish the best of luck to anyone who may attempt to try. Top Gun Maverick is what a blockbuster sequel should be. A well-told story with engaging characters that builds off the original with patience and respect, with the right amount of callbacks to feel nostalgic, but never to a point of being a detriment. And all the while is soaring ahead to take its franchise into new heights. Take lessons, Hollywood. This is how it's supposed to be done. Now do more of it, please. It puts flesh and blood into its spectacle where it belongs and, as such, rises above so many of its contemporaries. It's like what Maverick says in response to Admiral Kane's declaration of technology replacing humanity. Maybe so, sir, but not today. And that is my review, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. YouTube's algorithm isn't very kind to small channels like mine, so if you could all do me a favor and hit like and be sure to tap the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Be on the lookout for more content to come out very soon, and if you like what you saw, please be sure to subscribe and share the video. With that, I'm Kogan, and I'll see you next time.